Would like to introduce you to the Covidisor. It's a COVID visor that shields you from COVID, similar to how a sun visor shields you from the sun. Before explaining it, how it works, I'd like to talk a little bit about the reason or the problem we're trying to solve. As everyone knows, the recommendation is if you're indoors particularly, that you wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, and wash your hands frequently. Not that COVID comes as contacted through the skin, it's respiratory, but the idea is to, in case you inadvertently touch your face and so on. 6 feet apart is because that's the distance that droplets that may be carrying the virus would typically fall from an infected person. A mask both for droplets and also for aerosols, which are smaller particles that travel further and linger in the air longer. And so a mask would protect you from that. But we also know that masks vary in terms of effectiveness by the degree that they filter, as well as how you put them on, whether it's a good fit or not. But what's also the case is the three considerations combined have really wreaked havoc with the workspace, schools, the way that business is normally conducted. Desks have to be further apart, elevators, less people, mass transit has much lower occupancy, all because people are afraid, and rightly so, and have to be further apart. So our approach is to come up with a solution that allows people basically to cut that 6 foot distance down back to normal, so to speak. And our solution is a protective shield that protects your full head, but doesn't cover it, so to speak. It's not a mask, it's an unmask. And it's made out of very thin and light polycarbonate that's quite strong. It's head mounted and center weighted, so it's balanced, and when you wear it, it actually doesn't feel heavy, and you can wear it for a period, extended periods of time. It has filters we use are standard N95 filters available from 3M and others. So for example, we use a bayonet mount, which is the 3M mount. You can take out, this is an N95 filter that's readily available. You can replace it with a P100 filter if you want greater filtration, depending on your case. And then the filtration happens using via a air pump, suction pump, which is in the back. This is an early prototype of it. That also filters the air going out. So that's important because basically you're protecting people around you and not only protecting yourself. The way that you put it on is like a hat. It just comes on and off easy. And then there's a neck shroud that you tighten. What that does is it creates an air seal at the bottom. You will get a pretty good sense when it's you tie it so it's not too tight, but sufficient so that it provides more air resistance than the filters. And as we know, air will follow the path of least resistance, so when the pump is working, if you have it snug around your neck, the air will come through filters. Obviously, if you leave it loose, which you shouldn't do, it'll circumvent the filters and air will be coming out the other way. So that's basically, and also I should say the fan has a variable control speed. So you adjust it for the rate of air that you want, depending on your use case and your needs, so that it's comfortable. You basically have a constant stream of fresh air coming in. It's important to say that because it's fan powered, you don't experience sort of breathing fatigue, which happens when you're wearing a mask for an extended period of time, because essentially with a mask you're the one sucking in the air and having to overcome the resistance of the filter. And the filter needs resistance because otherwise it's not filtering. The fan is powered by a lithium-ion battery, which is not very big, as you see. It fits in your pocket, and then it also has a speed controller that you can adjust. The battery is obviously rechargeable. We view the openings as kind of a port, whether for fresh air or something. So in addition to removing it to replace the filters, we're working on what you might consider a drinking port, and the shell is mounted on a swivel shell, is attached via a swivel connector to the hat, so that you can rotate it and basically bring the drinking port within reach. That's a quick summary of how the Covidisor work. Basically, our goal with it is to allow you to feel to be safe working with other people who are or not maybe also wearing the Covidisor within normal distance. So they could be sitting around a conference table working. You could be in a factory setting, you could be in a farm setting next to each other, and you are each breathing filtered, purified air, and also without, most other powered air respirators, as they're called, only filter the air coming in, and then they don't filter the air going out. So they're not necessarily considerate of the people around you, because they were made for a different kind of use. So in any event, we're building, our plan is to build the first 200 of these, and to get them to people who are interested to try them in different use cases, whether it's working in the office or teaching, lecturing at a university campus, and feeling that it's a safe thing that you could be doing, or other kind of work scenarios, or just using them in public. And so we hopefully will get 200 people, if interested, hopefully yourself, that would support this, and we'll get the first 200 out in short order.